Firstly, a big thank you from Prescient in particular, our new partners. It's taken us, as you've seen, Mike and Dirk and the guys who've been with us since the early days, Liesel, it's taken us a long time to get recognized as a viable Cape ultra distance triathlon. And we've had to work hard at building it. It's a challenging area to go to a triathlon, to put a triathlon in an area that hasn't got experience in that. We've had to work with local municipalities that had no experience, marshals, staff, infrastructure, road traffic. It's been a lot of work, and I think we've got to a stage where it's been amazing. It's been the most honest race in South Africa. It's always been the sort of benchmark. We haven't had crowds pulling each other in a draft fest. It's exactly what we intended. We wanted to have a beautiful Western Cape experience, an honest one where you needed to practice what you were taught. You needed to manage your energy levels. You needed to manage your strategy. You need to manage your nutrition, your power. A proper triathlon. People have started treating ultra distance races like sprints. They go full ball because they sit behind each other. They might bike their ass off and then they end up walking. They don't really pay the respects due from a race that's honest. and we kind of is in a way is kind of a benchmark in that respect. Then obviously as you all know, as most of you know, we had the unexpected roadworks on the Hermanus Valley, and the beauty of it is there's always, I think the lesson, as always, which I've learned as I got older, and I'm sure Mike will tell me it just gets stronger, is that it's never worth forcing anything. Everything comes in good time, and we've applied in the past for the Clarence Drive route. So have all the big event organizers in South Africa. Since the Total Sports Challenge ended there in 2013, after 13 years, I actually did all of them. So I've got massive fondness for this course. I adore this area, and I'm sure the guys who live in the area will say the same thing. It's probably the most beautiful place to do a triathlon in South Africa. But they wouldn't allow it. Gordons Bay shut down for events on that road. When we appealed to the mayor saying, look, you've shut down our course, which we've been building for 5 years, entry's been open for 2 months. She said, well, look, nothing I can do about it immediately, but what's plan B? And we said, plan B is Clarence Drive. And she said, well, I think that's a bit of a hot potato because obviously everyone wants to open up a piece of road, but it's a very busy road, And a couple of months later, actually it was only weeks, came back and said, we're making a plan. You behave, we'll behave, go for it. So that's how we ended up with the scenic detour on this amazing piece of road. And we've got a windy day ahead, but Gordons Bay handles wind well. And the Gordons Bay swim, for anyone who's did Ironman back in the old days or the Total Sports Challenge, it's a great place to swim. It's pretty shallow. There's nothing dangerous. There's no tides. There's no real waves. So you get a wave once every maybe 6 months. It's a great place to swim. It's a great place to start. It's got a huge parking bay. It's not far from Cape Town. It's a shoot up the N2. It's great. It's been the host of African champs, SA champs, interprovincial. We've had lots of races. It's amazing. So I'm super stoked to be there. And it's looking like the road in the Hermanus is going to take a few years. So there's no reason why we will move from this, as long as you guys all play your part and keep left. We've got left lane road closure out of Gordons Bay. And as long as we don't litter and cause mayhem, we're going to be good. And be polite to policemen, etc. Gordons Bay have been amazing. I mean, we are so fortunate that with this event, we've got Prescient, who is a very strong, very edgy, forward-thinking financial institution, and they have been really generous. You guys will see, they've even given the marshals on the course caps. They've given you guys gift bags. They've given you prizes. We've got bottles of wine tonight from them for the sharp ones amongst us. I'm going to ask the odd question during the presentation, and if you nail it, I can give you a bottle of wine which you can collect at the race itself. So stay sharp. If I get boring, you can knock me on the pip. And if just remember, when you've got your prize, just come and claim your bottle of wine when you get there. So Prescient, really amazing. CISA, our support partner, are a legal advice company that does amazing work throughout the country. They got offices. I went to SA Champs in Bloem. I was parking in the street and I saw this big building, and it was CISA's Bloem office. I thought it was a head office, and they're very strong. They work with companies all over South Africa. They're very supportive of South Africa. And the first thing they did when they signed up with us is work on our CSI. So they are CSI partners. They are supporting local communities to work on the event, which is which is really awesome. It's made a huge difference. When we deal with the mayor's office, and I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why the mayor was so accommodating. You know, they've been great. So Evert Kleinans, for those who know triathlon, he's a top athlete, very sharp guy, and they've been superb. We've got companies in Hermanus. We've got the tourism office, Gordons Bay and Hermanus, but Gordons Bay Tourism have come on this year straight away out the box and said, we'll make it work for you guys. They are really, really cool. So they've been sending out mails to their audience, their databases, saying, come and support. They've got coffee vouchers, food, meal vouchers, discounts for our spectators and for our athletes. They're opening up the restaurants at 6 in the morning so you guys can get coffee when you arrive in Gordons Bay. They've been awesome. They are so stoked to bring triathlon back to Gordons Bay. So hopefully this is the start of many, many years of this incredible course. Really excited about that. So hopefully the guys are going to slow down with entering the room. They seem to still be entering one at a time. I'm going to get onto it. So there they are. There we are. We went on our first recce. There's Warren SB pulling in the front with Seaport behind him. This is the course. That's what it is like. Smooth, beautiful tar road that winds out of the water, out of Gordons Bay, fresh out of the swim. So that's more importantly than to Prescient themselves, our generous partners and Seaside supporters, it's to you guys. Without you, we wouldn't have a race. We cancelled 1 year during COVID. We've delayed this year. We had a very cold swim last year. We had a ridiculously unseasonable cold, and we started at the bottom of the bike at the bottom of the hill because they were renovating the new harbour. It was a very difficult year last year. We had a big crowd there, but it must have scared some people for sure. So I'm very, very happy to be in warmer, calmer water. I'm happy to be on an incredible bike course, the most incredible bike course ever. I'm so jealous that I have to be on the mic and not on the bike. And then the run course is amazing. We've got a really cool bunch of guys who are based in Gordons Bay. And they are, most importantly, Murray. They've been superb. Murray Crabe, for those of you who don't know him, hopefully he's on this call. He is the bike record holder, amateur bike record holder for the old course. So the man can ride, and he's definitely getting close to 50 if he's not 50 already, and he can run like a flippin' 25-year-old. So I'm expecting him to be on the podium on Saturday, and he's been instrumental at finding us the most awesome run course in Hermanus. So I'll be surprised if any of you guys find any of these courses, any of these legs, any less amazing than the other. And you know what my races are like. I just want you to enjoy the experience and the environment. You know, we're not a sausage factory. We're about the experience. We want you to just get out there and have a lekker day. Leave your ego behind and have a joy. So,
hi Paul, it's Kerry.
Kerry, how's it?
I think if you enlarge your screen somehow on your side.
I asked Liesl Putkit just now. Let me just check.
Okay, so I can see you scrolling through. It'll probably make a difference if you can maybe just enlarge so the whole screen is taken up, because we can see what's on your computer.
Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. Let me just see whether I'm so flipping clueless. Let me.
Sorry, it was vast. It looks like, I did say to you, it looks a bit small, but it's because you can see on the side.
Did you? No, let me try and, where's that little button cheat to make it big?
Oh, you've done it. No, then you've done it, Paul, because this is now we can see your whole computer screen. So
where's that little button to give you the full Monty?
That's, I'm not sure. Do what you did. I think that's better than this. This is too small.
No, let me, what did I do? Okay, there you go. Shirley.
I'm still on your old screen.
Press view.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
View, top left, top left.
Because I've now got the whole.
The file edit view. Go to that view on the third tab to the left.
Yeah. No, other left.
I'm actually now on the full. I've got the full screen on my screen, so I'm trying to find a way around that. You mean these things?
It says slideshow, top right. Just press slideshow.
Okay. How about that?
Awesome. There we go.
That's better.
You can just use your arrow keys. That's it. We're on.
Okay, lekker. Okay, sorry, you guys. There's a whole lot better picture. So we've now got most of you on. Hopefully not too many people trying to get in. I'll hopefully see them. Okay, so I've said thank you to everyone. Registrations. Let's jump straight in. Cape Town, the Eco Hotel Verde. There were probably some people that were surprised and thinking, what the hell's the Verde Hotel at the airport? I didn't know it existed. a school class that my daughter's part of went on an eco and geo field trip, and they were taken to this hotel. And when she came back with pictures, she showed me. I said, "Well, I've been past that hotel. It's like in the middle of the airport industrial area." She said, "Check it out." And inside, it's got, as you can see in that picture there, it's got an eco pool, which has got no chemicals at all. It's got plants growing in it. You can swim in there. It's got everything's eco. They're 100% eco. They draw the heat for the showers from 100 and something meters underground from natural ground heat. They recycle every single piece of waste. The whole hotel, it's an international owner who built it, and he had a vision to build a fully eco hotel, and they don't waste anything. It's amazing. So it's really cool. You must have a look around, take a walk in the gardens. They've got a little gym area outside. They've got a walkway path around the gardens outside, around the little water, what's it called, like a flay. They've used the space impressively. I mean, you actually might want to ask for a tour downstairs. They go and show you how the geysers work. Everything is run out of the ground, nothing from the outside. So we were so blown away, and I thought, we've got so many guys from the northern suburbs who every year say, like, we've got a trek into Cape Town to come to your race briefings. We then moved to the River Club to make it fair for the northern hemisphere, the northern suburbs guys. And obviously, as you know, they're busy building the Amazon offices there, and it's a whole big nightmare. So we thought, let's go and have a look close by, and we found this amazing venue. So for everyone traveling, hopefully this is fair ground. There's loads of parking. They've got spillover parking outside the premises, but they've got underground parking as well. And when you're in the underground, have a look at the heating system. It's really cool. So maybe take some time out and go sit in the lounges. Very edgy and cool design. They've got like even recycled glass on the walls, little glass specks. It's very, very cool. So we'll be there tomorrow afternoon from 4 till 7. Please, if you can attend any race briefing, come to this one, or race registration, should I say. This is the one where you bring your running shoes. Okay. And same with Gordons Bay, but please, if you're from Cape Town, come to this one tomorrow. Gordons Bay is Friday afternoon, 4 till 7. Same thing. Gordons Bay Yacht Club, which is just past the beach. You keep going around the beach when you arrive from Cape Town on the N2. You go down, the beach is in front of you. You just keep going a little bit around the bay, and the yacht club's on your right. Really cool place. Then in Hermanus Saturday morning, for the sprint guys, that's sprint only. Please don't go there if you're doing the ultra. You can register from 7 till 7:30, and then we're going to rack until 8, and then we're going to head to the swim start. So a reminder, the ultra guys and the aquabike guys, and aquabike, just so you know, some people ask what it is. Aquabike is effectively, let me just admit more people. Aquabike is the swim, the bike, and then you stop. I did it at Cape Ultra. I did it last year in Germany, or 2 years ago in Germany. I loved it. I was injured. My toe was stuffed. I just got off the bike, took a little hobble across about 100 meters or so to the finish line, and my day was done. So anyone who's struggling with form or is neurotic about 2 weeks recovery for muscle bay or whatever, that option is there. But yeah, the finish line is about 150 meters from transition 2 on the other side of the Old Harbour. You go across the finish line, and your timing chip will read that you're done if you registered for Aquabike. So the running order is 5:30 till 6:30. Transitions open in Gordons Bay. It's the little parking bay on the other side of the spur. I'll show you a video, a map just now, but it's on the other side of the spur. We park on the right, the Cape Town side of Gordons Bay, of the main beach. We transition on the other side, just literally over one building. Final race briefing on the beach, just pre-swim, having a look at the course and getting ready. We kick off at 7 o'clock. Okay, wet start. We're going to do males and then females. We'll probably just split you into 2. We'll have a look on the morning, how our conditions look. But you wade out. It's pretty shallow. You just wade out to the start line. It's sort of waist high, but we don't want you to start too shallow. It's low tide, and it's a shallow harbor. And there are some stones, so I'd rather just walk out very gently. I think the best thing to do is to be ready by 6:30, have a swim for 15 minutes. As I always say, wet your wetsuit, get your arms falling over, get your heart elasticized, then get out the water at like 6:45, 10 to 7, stand on the beach, recover, watch the beautiful morning unfold, check out the course, get your mind still, and then we'll start off. So you'll walk out to the start line, and then I'll show you the course in a moment. Sprint, 7 to 7:30, you arrive there for registration. Your registration is at transition, at Gearing's Point, which is the spot right over the Old Harbour where all the statues are. Probably the most beautiful place in South Africa, I would argue. Then the final briefing is 15 minutes before the start, which is at the swim. I'll talk of just now, but that swim is in the new harbour. So we'll head across after you've racked your bike, after you've got your transition set up. Your run stuff. You then go across on your bike to the. You can go in your wetsuit, fold it down, or however you want to swim, and you just take your bike bag with you, and then we'll bring your bike bags back to the transition afterwards. So you collect it like everyone else. Transition will open again at 12 o'clock for both events. To collect your bikes and everything, you need your bike number, your race number, and your bike tag to match in order to get your bike out. We'll have a prize giving for the top 3 at 12:30. We'll have prize giving itself at 4, and then we'll have a jawl at the Hermanus Valley Brewery at Hermanus Valley Brewery at 7 o'clock. Right. So timing chip and timing chip strap. For those of you who did Cape Town Triathlon, we'll have chips available. Straps available at registration tomorrow if you need to buy one. Hopefully we'll also have race belts. I think we have less beginners here, but if you need a race belt, we'll have that too. And that is the timing chip itself will be given to you at race check-in. That's the standard worldwide now because they have so many no-shows and people don't arrive with their timing chips and we never get the chips back and then they get charged a fortune. So for your swim, you need your wetsuit, goggles. Not sure what the temperature is right now. We'll keep an eye on temperature throughout the week. It's normally not bad, but some people like a neoprene swim cap, but you get a Prescient swim cap from the event. Once again, thank you to Prescient very, very much. So that's what you need for the swim. Bike, you're going to get a bag, obviously tomorrow at race registration. Your bike stuff will go in there in the morning. You'll hang it up, and then when you come in from the swim, you'll take your bike stuff out. You'll put your wetsuit and goggles into that bag. Like Ironman, you'll hang your bag up, and you'll head out on your bike with your swim stuff left behind, and you leave transition towards Hermanus. You are allowed, it's a TT, it's non-drafting, so tri-bars, of course, allowed. 10 meters gap between all riders. Same story. Overtaking, if you're catching somebody, if the person in front who you're busy overtaking accelerates, that's called blocking, you'll get a penalty. You've got to complete your pass. You've got to complete your pass enough to get 10 meters ahead of them. Only then can the person who's been overtaken start their passing. And if you keep doing it to each other, the ref's going to nail you both because you're clearly helping each other. So just be cool. You know what the story is. Stick to your heart rate. Stick to your numbers. Race your race, and everything else will come together. They shouldn't matter. If you're not drafting, they shouldn't matter. You can still see them from 10 meters away. Very easy. All right. So onto the bike. Bike shoes, race number belt. You need to wear your race number on the bike and run. You cannot wear it on the swim. Don't put it under your wetsuit. Every time people do that, we end up with race numbers that are foggy and colored. Can that person just? I just want to mute. Okay, there we go. So you're going to get 2 bags. One is a blue bag from Prescient. Thank you very much again, Prescient. Your blue bag will be, you get a second bike tag. One bike tag will go around your seats, your saddle post. The other one goes onto your transition bag. So that's how you mark your transition bag, your blue Prescient bag, the one that you're going to bring to the start on the morning and hang up before you go down to the beach to start your swim. You can, if your bike shoes are not clipped onto your bike, then put them in the bag. Okay, same thing. Helmets, all the helmets must be in the bags. No helmets on bikes. If the wind blows, and it is going to blow, your helmet will well be blown across the transition and it could be cracked and then you can't start the ride. Put everything in your bag, everything, except if you're going to tape gels onto your bike and you got your pedals clipped in, that's okay. Otherwise, just rack your bike by the handlebars if you can with the brake hoods because it's more stable than the saddle. Again, we are talking about windy conditions. Leave your stuff in your bag. Make sure your stuff's neatly back in your bag and hung up when you leave. A loose wetsuit or loose goggles will be gone, or spectacles or whatever else. All right. Quick question. First bottle of wine. You can unmute yourself and just tell me, what are 2 gifts that you're getting from Prescient on race morning? Who's in?
A swim cap and a transition bag.
Nice, Julia. Okay, Julia Wilson is our first wine winner. Nice one. Okay. Yeah. So, next question I'm going to ask straight away while we're in winning turf. What was the last triathlon race to be held? A triathlon race to be held in Gordons Bay on this bike course?
Ironman.
Ironman South Africa. Who's that? Mike Peltrit.
That's me.
I knew it. Thirsty Oaks win, eh? You get clever when you're thirsty. Okay. Well done, Mike.
That was 2001.
Huh?
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Oh, 2001. You are correct. That is the year, 2000 and 2001. And then sadly, they lost their license. So onto the run. Your running shoes and anything else. Your cap, don't put a drink in it, because by the time it's been in our trailer and transport throughout the week, that's going to be pretty manky. So just put in what you need for your run. So some people like to put in a bit of Vaseline or whatever for application before they start running. Most people will wear socks. The run is 18 Ks long. So socks, running shoes, cap. If you do like to wear a second pair of sunglasses, or you've got a visor on your helmet, you want to put your glasses, put everything there, put it in sunglass case, keep everything safe. It's going to be packed on top of each other. Okay, they'll be packed on top of each other, and they'll be in a container for 4 days. So just put your stuff together. There will be a sticker on the bag to identify yours. You only put your bike tag sticker on your T1 bag, the blue Prescient one. The one that we give you with the clear one with the sticker on it, that's the one you're going to hand to us with all your running stuff in. Okay. Don't put dops in there. So there you go. There's the transition bag. It's got your number on it. You drop that at registration tomorrow or Friday. Transition bag is the blue one. That's for transition 1. Your seat post number goes around your seat post like that. And you wear your race number on your bum going out, and you turn it to the front on the run. Okay, pretty straightforward. And as I mentioned, finish timing chips will be handed to you when you enter transition. Make sure I would always take a safety pin. Some people like to use masking tape or duct tape to make sure that your chip stays on. Because if you lose your chip, you have to pay for it, and you will not you won't get your splits and your time. Right, you can purchase the straps, as we say, at registration. You get your chips there at the registration desk. Same thing in Hermanus for the sprint cars. You get it when you arrive at transition. All categories, you hand them in at the finish line. When you cross the line, we don't dive tackle you like some races and rip it off your leg when you're busy falling over. But don't forget to give it to us. We're going to be there. Hand in your race timing chip at the end. Otherwise, querying and trying to find it and paying 1,000 Rand is cuck. So just give it to us at the end. All right, you keep your race number with you, because when you go back to transition to get your bike, they won't give you your bike unless you show them your race number that matches your seat post number. Right, shuttles. Some people have asked us, how do I get from Hermanus back to Gordons Bay in my car, or how do I get myself to the start? You've got options to shuttle either way. Okay, Rotary of, I think it's Rotary of Hermanus, I'm assuming, Kerry, are offering a flat rate of 1,000 Rand either way. So you either give them your car keys and your car and say, there it is, and you find it at the finish in Hermanus, or you get a lift through with your bike to the start from Hermanus. So there's the phone number, Eleanor 063-067-2709, and there's the email address, eleanor@4world.co.za. Contact them, book your shuttle, otherwise go with your mates. Your mates have got to drive over the N1, Solaris Pass Road. You've got to go over the top. It's much quicker anyway, but also we don't want cars going on our own bike course. The cops won't let you there. We're only allowed to have police, medics, and I think we've got one vehicle. So everyone's got to go over the top, but it is much quicker. Okay. That's so that our riders can be safe and unaffected. Right. Ultra and Aquabike parking. There's the parking lot. There's the spur in between the word parking and the word T1. That's the spur. So when you park in T1, you walk in front the beach side so you can have a look at the water. It's going to be windy. Huh? It hasn't been windy for like 2 weeks, and we're getting the first windy day. Southeaster. You go in front of the spur into the T1 parking space, and you rack your bike there. The only people that are seated, Kerry, remind me, it's 1 to 40. The seated numbers.
1 to 30, Paul.
1 to 30. If your number's 1 to 30, then you've got a seated bike rack. The first 30 numbers are on those racks at the bike exit. Just stay away from those. The rest of them are all first come, first serve. Okay, that's in Gordons Bay. Right, so we're doing 100K format, the PTO Collins Cup series format, which is really cool. It's 100Ks, it's a 2K swim, 80K bike, 18K run. We're actually 102Ks because the bike is actually 82Ks. So the swim course starts on the far left of the beach. If you can see my little cursor on that arrow, Okay, that is the entry and the exit point. It's a deep channel on that side. So don't come on this side of those rocks. Any of you who've ever done any paddling or did Ironman Gordons Bay in the old days, this is a deeper channel than all of this. Okay, come over here, do your warm up here before we start. I'll call you out the water at least latest 10 to or 8 minutes to, and then you get back on the beach. Then we start walking into the water when everyone's accumulated. We're going to count you into the water. We've got a little timer. Most of you know from Blue Lagoon, we slap your hand, you give a little high five, and we click that you're in the water. When everyone gets out, we count again, and if we're missing someone, we're going to send the NSRI. We don't want to do that because you didn't give us a high five. So you warm up, you get ready, you come to the beach, chill, listen to me talk shit, then high five into the water, and we start you from there. Okay. So everyone clear? That is 2 laps. Okay, actually it does say at the bottom, 2 times 1K. Okay, straight up along the beach, right shoulder, straight across towards Cape Town, right shoulder again, straight in towards the spur, right shoulder again, and back. And the second time you go straight between those 2 markers onto the beach. Okay. 2K, 2 laps, straightforward. If you're having a bit hard time, you are very close to the beach. There are some people who just panic when they hit water, and that's why I always like to say, swim first. Don't come out of the fire and into the fridge. You don't want that. That gives you a sense of shock. You must go. Liesel, skinny people like Liesel in particular, get in there, get the feeling, get comfortable, put water in your mouth, spool it through your wetsuit. When you get out and when you get in the second time, it always feels so much better. That sting effect is gone. No matter, I don't know what the temperature is going to be, but assume it's going to be cold. But if you happen to be swimming down the first leg and you're feeling shit and you think, I'm not coping, just 10 meters to your left or 20 meters to your left is a nice beach that you can walk back on. Okay. You can hold on to the life craft. You just can't move with the life craft. So if you feel like you just need a second to get your breath and tell the lifeguard person to just keep an eye on you but you're okay, you can grab it, but you can't get taken along with it. You can't make any progress on the course. And if you aren't able to let go in the next 10 seconds or so, we'll probably call the boat to come and take you out. Okay. If you can't swim, for some reason you have a panic attack, you can't get in there, you suddenly doubt your skills, there's a bit of swell and you think, I'm not up to this, you can start the bike at the back of the swim. When the last swimmer's left, those people who didn't complete the swim will start the bike. Okay, we don't want to penalize you for not enjoying it just because you're having a panic attack on the day. Right, out the water on the blue line, you go up the stairs. Don't go to this side of it because there's a little wall there and you have to hop up, which can give you cramp after a swim. Just go up the easy way. It's along the sand, along the edge just above the walkway. We'll put some water buckets along there so you can clean your feet going into transition. You come in on that corner, it's the swim in. Okay, you find your bike and you go out this corner here, which is where you would have picked up your chip in the morning. If you need a medic on the day, this is where to find them. I'll be around here, the sound will be here. I hope it'll carry that way and onto the transition. And then you go out across the road onto the left-hand side and off you go. Past the yacht club where you would have registered and on your merry way. I see Mike, your mate Matthew's just arrived. Only half an hour late. All right. So that's the swim course. Yeah.
We've got a question. When we exit the swim, do we have to go around the 2 starter buoys or head straight for the beach after the last turn?
You go straight. I did straight between the 2. Okay. So on the first lap, you right shoulder the left one. Second lap, you come straight between the 2 onto the beach.
Great. Can we talk about teams, please?
Teams. Okay, teams. When you come out, your biker will be here at this entry point here. Okay. You come out, you hand out, you take your chip off on the comfort of the grass. You give them the chip, then you leave onto this grass area and they then run into their bike and off they go. So just wait for them outside here, dressed in your full kit, ready to ride. Take the chip onto your ankle, to your bike. Don't put your chip on your ankle here. Just carry it to your bike. Rather put it on there. Otherwise, we get a bit of a cluster of people trying to put on chips. And when someone's cold and been swimming, it's not the easiest thing. Okay. Ankle chip on your left ankle away from the drivetrain. And the chip itself should be facing outwards. Don't put it on the inside facing towards your bike. Put it on the outside. The best spot is actually just behind your ankle bone. There's a little groove there where it fits nicely. Just don't put it too tight because it can shower you on the run and on the bike. Any other questions, Kerry? Oh, here we go in chat.
No, that's cool. Carry on, Paul. I'll answer.
You
to
keep
some
an
of
eye on
the
that.
individual
Yeah,
questions.
thanks.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay. So onto the bike, 82 Ks. You all know. Okay, so I've had a look at a few weather maps in the last 10 days, and most of them are showing southeaster pretty strong, which means if you look, can you see my cursor? It's blowing from here. So that means in about 5 sections out of the 9 sections, you're going to have a strong headwind. In about 3, you're going to have a gentle headwind, and 2, you're going to have none because you're behind the mountains. You're going to have a little bit of tail over here, but effectively you are going along the coast through Pringle Bay, Royal, Betty's Bay, Kleinmond, you start going inland, as you know, past the Arabella Sheraton Hotel. When you get to that corner here, which is where we meet the main road that's come from the N2, you need to be very careful. The police will be there, but you need to use your brain because there's cars coming from that side and that side. It's quite a major intersection, and you've got to cross over to the other side. So please keep your eyes open. The police will be there, but this is where you need to be sharp. Our fuel station, Kerry, remind me if I'm wrong, but I think it's just outside on that corner, or between Arabella and that corner.
So it's going to be close to where the R43 and the R44 meet.
Okay, so near that corner.
So near that corner, but you know, there's going to be lots of traffic presence, provincial and local traffic. There's going to be the water point, but everyone needs to be very vigilant, please.
Yeah. So the drink stations, very cool. You know the product by now. Navid Sports Nutrition, the same nutrition from the Tour de France, Giro Italia, Vuelta a España. Excellent product. It's going to be at the drink station. By that, you would have started. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Please pre-hydrate pre-race. The coaches out there will tell you that a lot of water isn't going to help you a lot, especially if it's windy. If windy, you don't feel yourself sweating, you stay dry, but the sweat is drying fast. So pre-hydrate the night before. You might wake up for a pee during the night, but that's a small price to pay. Drink a bit in the morning on the way to the start, try and finish a bottle, and then have a nice big wee before the race starts. And there's nothing wrong with peeing in the sea in your wetsuit, keeps you a little bit warmer. And then you should be fine. You've got 2 bottles on your bike, should comfortably get you easily to that point. You can refill there, and then you can get to the finish. Okay, you shouldn't need more. There's just 1 drink station there, and we'll have a loo there at that point as well. Okay, so 82K bike into Gordons Bay.
Can I add? Sorry, Paul. Can I add on there? We will have a loo at that water point as well, and that water point is our CSI water point. So it's going to be managed by Grootbos Foundation and by Pebbles Project, which we're so proud to have these magnificent organizations from the Overstrand included in the event. And yeah, there's so much to be said for the CSI element and what the event through you guys and through CISA bring to that area. So it's not just the triathlon and this magnificent course and these race endorphins, but you also are all giving back to a phenomenal community, which is magnificent.
Yeah, I mean, that's on that point. I mean, we went there last year when we went to go visit the kids at Pebbles, and it's just heartwarming. You just see these tiny little kids who've got books and little packs, and they come and give you a hug, and they are so sweet. And they farm kids who would have no education otherwise. So just know that your money going into here is not going to America or China. Had to put the boot in. It's going into a very good course. What's that?
I said, nice one.
Yeah, it's going to a great course. When I went there, we didn't want to leave. It's amazing. And then Grootbos, they do such good work on the ground. They've got great people. They do ecological work. We all know how badly South Africa needs organizations like them. So yeah, thank you very much. So that's the bike course.
Paul, I just want to mention there's a question here from Elroy about the road closure. Road closure is from Gordons Bay, left lane closure outbound towards Royals. It's only closed up until Royals. When our last athlete moves through, that road will be open again. So through Kleinmond, you've got very wide roads. Going up, you've got wide roads all the way through Arabella. That whole stretch is quite quiet. Yes, you stick to the left-hand side. So we've got lots of traffic presence. We've got over 60 marshals en route. As I say, provincial and local traffic. At the big intersections, there's going to be a lot of presence. But please, guys, we are asking you to be vigilant at all times. These are provincial roads. We're crossing over 3 different municipalities. And everyone needs to obviously be accountable for their own ride. So at these big turning points, please be aware. All the intersections are marshaled. These are human beings. There's room for error. Just be vigilant and make sure that you're looking around and you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kerry. We've got motorbikes from Think Bike who are as you guys know, are pretty aggressive. They do their jobs, so don't be frightened by those guys in their vests on their big motorbikes. What you probably need to do is keep most vigilant between Kleinmond and Arabella on that long gradual uphill past Arabella, because that's probably where cars go the fastest. And then coming into Hermanus, always, you know, it's a busy town. You need to keep your wits about you there, because you're going to wind your way down quite near the new harbour and along the beachfront to the harbour itself.
Yeah, it's a beautifully uplifted industrial area. So you're actually going to see a different element of Hermanus. It's beautiful because you're seeing so many different aspects. But the roads have been redone, and the community there are very looking forward to welcoming all of us. But we also have got dogs, we've got kids with bulls. It's early in the morning, but again, please just be vigilant and just be aware. Yeah, so for those who are wondering about the bike course, the climbing is pretty early on. Have a look at the shark teeth at the bottom. Obviously, those are more exaggerated. Your biggest climbs are in the first half of the bike. So you will know if you know the course. I mean, if you haven't been, try and get a chance to have a spin on it, but go and have a look. You can also look on Strava, etc. The course has been plotted. We've got the course as well. So you will take a long climb after the first little bridge. If you're looking at my cursor, you have a long climb here, and then you go down to the bridge, and then this is probably your steepest and longest. It is your steepest and longest, or it's certainly your longest. Then a nice descent here, cruise down through here, and then when you come up the hill out of where there's Royals, the climb up to Royals, up to the top towards Pringle Bay, that is only about 1 kilometer long, but it's very steep, and you do not want to charge that. At Ironman South Africa, those who remember it, we went up it and down it twice, hair raising going down, but it's steep, but it's actually not that bad. If you get into a nice easy gear, the benefit is it's a short up, steep up, and then a long, more gradual down. So you definitely want it that way. You would hate to have a long and gradual up and then a short down, because you just lose all that benefit. Your biggest benefit comes on the other side of Royals, where you take a 10K easy cruise towards Betty's Bay. Downhill, wide shoulder, make up for all that climbing that you did at Royals. And then it goes relatively flat from Kleinmond, etc. It's a gradual uphill towards Arabella, then a downhill towards the bridge, then an uphill towards the Benguela estate, then pretty much flat into Hermanus with a few undulations into Hermanus. Okay. Total climbing, I think when someone last measured, was about 690 meters for the whole course. And that's 950 meters less climbing than the old Race2Stanford course. Okay. Onto the transition. You've now come in along the cliffs, along the coast, the beach road in Hermanus, that beautiful road with all the cliffs here and the whales everywhere here. There's so many whales now that the only thing that's caused a change in our swim course is because the whales are basically permanently in the Old Harbour at the moment, which is so cool. So if your partners and friends are coming, they will see whales, which is amazing. And then plus all sorts of other sea life like dolphins, etc., seals. So you're coming along there, you pull in just at Gearing's Point. This is that point. Here's the Old Harbour here. There's all the statues, the place you normally park when you come to Hermanus. You come in there, you come into the transition area to your rack. The sprinters will be here. For those who are doing the ultra, this will be full of bikes already. Don't feel like you've been thrashed by a whole lot of people. They've been doing the sprint. You're going to come in first come, first served, racking from here backwards. You then, when you come in, you would have grabbed your bike off the bike rack. Sorry, when you leave, sorry, you put your bike down, then you'll come and grab your bag off the rack here. You can sit or stand. You've changed out of your bike stuff. You put your bike stuff into your run bag. You can leave your shoes on your bike, obviously, as you did when you came in, or put them in the bag. Then you hang up your bag, because you've now got your running shoes and your cap, etc., on, that you take out of your bag that you left there, that we left there hanging for you. It was waiting for you when you arrived in your number order, and you run out and around towards the finish line, etc., on around the Old Harbour. Here's the open food courts, etc. Yeah. Thanks. So on this map, that white square indicates the sprint transition area. However, it's not separate from all Ultra, Aquabike, and Sprint are all racking together. So the bag racks are going to be at the run exit where that red piece of fencing is. So there'll be extra space. There'll be bag racks there.
Okay, so they can get past here. There's no fencing. Okay.
Yeah, there won't be fencing. They can get past. I'm just indicating that sprint area is where we're going to encourage the sprint athletes to rack.
Yeah. Okay, so you grab your bag here. You get out of your cycling stuff, your bike's racked. You can only take your helmet off once your bike is racked and on the rack. You then, again, put it on the handlebars because it's going to be windy. Go to here, fill your bag with your bike stuff, put your run stuff on nice and comfortably, and out you go. Kerry, where's the drink station in Hermanus?
I'll show you. In fact, the finished map is not on this presentation.
Okay.
Before we get to that, just want to mention
But there is a drink station at the Old Harbour.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the bag racks, just getting back to bag racks, they will be numbered with a sticker. So your numbers, and they'll be numerical. So you'll be able to sort of figure it out when you get there, where your bag will be, and we'll make sure there's enough space. So if there, so you can actually, if you want to hang your bike, get rid of your shoes, go to the bag rack, you can actually leave straight from there if you want to. Then just on this map, those two blocks are our hardware container and our race office, our base container. For Sprint check-in registration on Saturday morning, this is where we're going to be doing registration if the weather is good. If it's bad, we are going to be just across the road at Harbour House inside their venue, disrupting all the breakfast guests. but that's the bad weather option, just so you know. But this is where we're actually we're gonna get together, and we're gonna register our sprint athletes. Then Paul, we have got a question on teams around this transition area. Let's answer the teams question before we get onto the finish area for the hydration.
Okay. So here you rack your bike, you then run to here where you put your stuff in the bag and you pass the chip to your biker, to your runner, sorry, who's waiting here at the exit. So your biker was waiting at the swim entrance, your runner's waiting at the run exit. So about there.
Yeah, that's perfect. So we are going to have two toilets here as well, and they're going to be between the two containers for some privacy, but they are obviously just open. And then talking about hydration, yes, when they run further on, so between Gearing's Point and the old theatre, the Old Harbour Theatre, which is the grass amphitheatre area in front of the restaurants, it's a couple hundred meters. Well, not a couple hundred. It's a fair distance. But the hydration point for the finish line will meet where you guys run through to go onto the run course. And if you need to pick up any hydration, that's the space to do it.
Yeah, no, it's close. It's about 100 meters. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you rack your bike at Gearing's Point. You go to the finish. If you're an aquabiker, that's you done. I wouldn't bother taking shoes with you. There's no point really. You're going to go literally along a nice little paved concrete thing next to the restaurants. You're going to lose too much time putting on shoes to go and run 150 meters. You're going to run around the point to the same finish line that you've seen at all our events, our big, large, huge, can't miss finish line. You're going to cross that finish line and you're going to hand in your chip, and that's where your race ends. Okay. Onto the run. Here's the run course, 18.6 Ks. There's Gearing's Point where you just finished. You run around the Old Harbour there. As Kerry says, there'll be a drink station there where you start the run course, and off you go. You're then going to go past the Marine Hotel. You're going to turn left, as we always do, up towards that Lekker Koppie. You've now got that beautiful amphitheatre of mountains around there. You head right, and you're going to along the top towards the golf course. You've got those fields on the left. You then turn left, and you go up above the golf course. You basically go around the golf course the whole way. You follow the golf course, that road there along the top, takes you along here towards Ferncliff. Ferncliff, as you know, is beautiful. It's thick and green and lush, and we've got a few hundred meters of trail in there, which is why I would suggest that those who love the Nike Vaporfly, perhaps an unstable shoe like that wouldn't be great on this course, because not only that little bit of trail, which is very short, it's definitely a road shoe course, but it's not a super shoe, really. Certainly not a less stable one. Something like an Asics Metasky, no problem. A nice smoother ride type of carbon plate shoe would be fine. Go through here. There's a drink station in the clearing, in the forest. Really cool spot. Thank you, Prescient. Really, really great spot. Great team. You can high five them. You can get your gears going there. Get something to eat and drink. And then you head your way across before you head down the back of town to the beautiful section, which is the Cliff Path Trails. The Cliff Path Trails, if you haven't been, we had to put in this course because it is just magnificent. If you ever go to Hermanus and you don't want to go for a run along there, you must have rocks in your head. It's beautiful. But it is cement with little stones in it, very light stones, and they have got lots of staircases. So you basically run smoothly, then it's up a little set of stairs, smooth again, down a set of stairs. It's got little wiggles and things, and for taller guys like Mel, Mike, and the rest, just watch your head for those little milk bus branches above your head. And you find your way across here. You'll go around the back of the houses along the main road a bit, as you know, past old Marcus Eustace hole in the ground. Then you'll come back onto the cliff path, past the Marine Hotel, to the finish line, almost to the finish line of the Marine, and you go on to lap number 2. And after lap number 2, you run onto the finish line over here. So trail shoes, not. You could get away with the trail shoe, but there's a lot of hard, flat concrete, and trail shoes can be a bit hard on your feet. So I'd suggest a road shoe with a reasonable grip and not a Vaporfly. Right. On to any questions on the run course? I'm assuming there probably are.
Yes.
What is there to eat and drink at the hydration station?
The eating, guys, there's not food at these hydration points. It's drinks. It's Coke and water. So if you need to bring any food with you, please do take it with you.
Yeah, stick a bar in your pocket or two. Tim Noakes and all the experts will tell you, nutrition-wise, you've got enough fat in your body to do 2 Ironmans back-to-back. You really want to be hydrated. You want to have had a solid chai in the morning, not solid, but things like peanut butter, toast, coffee, fruit in oats, etc. Have a good chai 2 hours before the start, roughly 2 hours. So I normally have it before I leave home or start the car drive with a big bowl of cereal, and then drink a protein/carb drink on the way to the start. It is a really good idea, if it's hot and windy, to have an electrolyte drink waiting for you at your bike. So I do that. I didn't used to. I got taught that by old Rich Laurie. We did it in Durban. It worked as a charm. I'm a big guy, sweat a lot. I drank a whole bottle of electrolyte drink in the water station, left the bottle behind. I had 2 bottles on my bike. You should be good.
Well, there's a question just about helmets on bikes. If the wind is pumping, guys, please do put your helmets into the bags.
There's no choice. It's helmets and bags. I mentioned that earlier. There's not a choice.
There's just another question here, and then I think we've answered everything else.
Okay.
Detour is asking for a run profile, Paul.
Run profile. We do have one. I don't know why it's not on here. Detour, sorry, man. So the profile is about.
No, it's not.
No, it's 220 meters of climbing. So I'm going to just show you. Okay, so this is a gradual incline up towards the mountain. Okay, this is rolling here very gently. It's pretty much rolling the whole way. This is largely up the start, your first couple of Ks towards the mountain, and this is largely down back towards the sea. This is all rolling. That's flat, and this is rolling. When I say rolling, occasionally you'll drop 10 meters downstairs and back up 10 meters on the other side, and then it's smooth again. So it's a rolling course. It's not a smooth, fast course. It's not a difficult course because it doesn't have a lot of climbing. It's an interesting and fun course. So it never gets boring. You never feel like you're slogging. If anyone who's done Ironman, those old runs around the university in PE where it was just miles and miles of nothing. Here, there's always some vibes. I mean, probably the most boring section might be around up there past the houses, but it's not. You're around a golf course. You've got the ocean on your left the whole way here. You've got the trees, the forest, and then the mountains here. It's a gorgeous run course. You're going to love it. Okay, onto the swim. For the sprint in the New Harbour, which is where Race2Stanford has always been. You all know where we used to swim, same place. You rack your bike at the top here, where we always racked in the car park at the top. You come down the brand new swanky stairs, which aren't even on this old Google map. You come down here, you go down the water. Here's the new NSRI station. You come down here to the slipway, and then we're going to start just in there, and we'll come into the water here. We'll start at the exit. You'll be able to do a swim warm up here before we start. Bertus van Zyl, is Bertus on the call? Bertus, can you unmute and say how's it if you're here?
How's it, guys? Listen, I think that swim is wrong. You're at the New Harbour there.
Yeah, so I'll talk you through it. Now's a good time to tell you, because we did have the plan was to swim in the Old Harbour, but because there's whales, a lot of them, we are moving the swim to the New Harbour. So that's why I think, Bertus, you might have missed earlier on in the presentation. After you've registered and racked at your run stuff at the transition at Gearing's Point, you will then ride through on your bike to the New Harbour, and you will put your bike in there. Then we'll take your swim bag from you afterwards and bring it back to transition. You personally, Bertus, just for the sake, Bertus is our short course race director. working closely with me. He's an ex-duathlon, national level duathlete. He's a teacher at the Waldorf School in Hermanus. He knows his stuff. He's going to be looking after you there. We'll be in Gordons Bay, quite a few of us. So he'll be at this course, and Bertus, you're going to get taken through on a Think Bike motorbike so that you can go leave transition and get straight through to the New Harbour.
Fantastic.
So it's a 750 course. It's not going to have one can. This was just for the sake of a working map. It's going to have 2 cans. It'll be a triangular course. It'll be 300 out, 50 across, and 300 back. Okay. You
Awesome.
know the water there, pretty cold, but not any more cold than Gordons Bay. We had a very cold year last year, but same thing. Prescient swim cap. Get yourself warm, exactly like I said for the ultra guys. Go for a practice dip, get your shoulders working, get water through your suit, come back outside. Bertus will speak to you with 15 minutes to go, give you a chance to relax, and then we'll start off from there.
This will also be a calmer swim
Oh,
than
yeah.
the other harbour.
Yeah, it's
much
beautifully
more.
protected. Yeah, it's great. I mean, that harbour wall there does its job. And it's, I think 3 out of 4 years in the past, we've had absolutely clear, smooth conditions. We've had 1 year very cold. The rest of the years have averaged about 14 and a half, 15. We had 15 and a half. We've had 2 13s and a 14 and 14 and a half. So only last year was like 11.5. It was a disaster. It was a really cold spell. Herman from the boat tour, etc. So he doesn't have cold like that. I have it maybe twice a year. So out of the swim, up the same, this is the staircase I was talking about earlier, the new staircase, up to the parking lot. Okay, there's the NSRI building. The harbour waterfront building. You come, NSRI's over here. You come up the stairs, walk up. You don't want to run up because you're going to end up with dead legs. You've just come out of the swim, all the blood in your shoulders. You come into transition here, you find your bike, you leave your bike bag behind. There'll be a little corner section there where you drop your bag in. It'll be a fenced off section there. You drop your bag in, you leave transition, get onto your bike there and head out of the harbour onto the bike course. Okay. 20K bike, which is starting at the Old Harbour, where's the harbour?
The New Harbour.
New
Yeah,
Harbour,
it's
yeah. So you come up here, you go through the road that Kerry was talking about now, which is, as she says, it's been upgraded. It is urban, so you do want to keep your wits about you, but you get onto the main road to Hermanus. You follow that all the way to a turnaround point, which is 10 k's out. You come back, you come down towards the New Harbour, and then you follow the beach road back into the Gearing's Point. You don't go back to where you started the bike. You finish where we all finishing, the ultras finishing at the Old Harbour. All right. Relatively, low, 15 meters ascent, highest from lowest to highest. Not a tough bike, out, drop, come back. So it's basically a little hill, up, down, back, up, down, and relatively flat to the finish. Beautiful section here. Beautiful, fast flowing. It'll be a fast bike. Okay. You come back in, same as Ultra and Sprint, except there'll be no bikes because the Ultra guys will still be all out. You go all the way to the end, rack your bike, grab your run stuff that you've left behind when you first arrived in the morning, change over and onto the run course, same as Ultra. Okay. Your 5K run, also courtesy of Murray Craig. You come out of transition, okay, onto the run course, but instead of going up through town, you head through the bottom section. There's the golf course. You never go up and around the golf course. You stay on the beachfront. So you go out on that road all the way to the end. You come down to the coastal cliff paths. You run along the cliff paths there, back onto the road, down along the cliff paths again to the finish. Okay. There's the course. Most of the climbing and descending is this end. You're going up and down on the, over here on the cliff paths, and a little bit over here too. Those are those jaggeds and those jaggeds there. Apart from that, pretty flat. Any questions on that? Let's check the chats. Are TTA bars allowed on the Sprint? Yes, Grant, you can. It's non-drafting bike. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. It's not a draft legal bike. So once again, keep your distance 10 meters. Barefoot running allowed. Neil, yes. Just don't come crying to us and the medics and tell us you need all kinds of help. Yeah, you may run barefoot. There's no rule against running barefoot.
May I say something?
Yeah.
The start of the bike, it's a very, very busy road. When you leave the harbour, if you can go just back to the run, to the bike course start. that very long part that goes up towards the road. Yes, just if all the guys can keep their eyes peeled for glass. It is a lower income area. It's very probably the busiest road of that lower income community. So just I'm expecting glass pieces unless somebody's going to clean that area.
We have, yeah, I have arranged. We've got a cleaning team on. They will be sweeping the road. We've got extra support staff from municipality on that road as well. We've got marshals on that road. So there is definitely support and definitely cleaning, but I do encourage all athletes while they're on these public spaces with dogs and kids and bulls and people, just to be aware.
Okay, sure.
Murray, to answer your question, you will pick up your bag like the ultra guys off the bike rack, the bag rack. So we'll have racks hung up in the race, same race numbers. So when you get to your first bag in transition 1, if you're a sprint person, you're going to place it yourself, okay, next to your bike. At the finish, when you finish the bike, it'll be hanging on the bag rack in your race number, in order of race numbers. Shout if that's not clear. Okay, and run course I just showed. Okay, I just want to thank everyone again because with great prizes from Jalbo, sunglasses, Sailfish, always great with wetsuit rentals, great wetsuit product. They've got their cans on the water. Vernon and the team are awesome. Quick Space, they got our office spaces that are at transition. They basically move our offices, those big containers from Cape Town out there. We've got sunscreen. So it's got hot and windy. We are moving into summer. Most of you are a little bit pasty like all of us because we're coming out of winter. There'll be sunscreen there. The Well Coast Hotel, if you haven't been there, it's above Checkers. It's actually in the roof. Really cool place, very modern and super easy to pop down to Checkers and get whatever you need for self-catering, etc. And they've got a restaurant there. Namad, I've mentioned already. Harbour House, who are part of the Village and Life group, always great hosts of ours, beautiful hotels in Hermanus. And then Coke and Peninsula Beverages. No one can live without Coke on a race, no matter how much you hate sugar or caffeine. That is the magic juice we all know. And then to Overstrand Government and Cape and Western Province, West Grow, yeah, always, Cape Town is the magic jewel of South Africa, and we are really proud to host the only ocean ultra in the Western Cape. So thank you to them. And once again, to Prescient, like Prescient and Cesar, we couldn't do it without you guys. So I'm going to ask you another question. So shout if you know, we've got another bottle of wine. Who is the old course record holder, amateur record holder, and course designer for the run courses at Race2Stanford Detour?
And while you're asking, okay, is there someone? No, someone's asking, how do we find our T2 bag? So they are going to be hung up.
I've just answered that, Kerry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I answered it. They found it on the bag rack. Who's going to answer who the run course director is?
Bertus.
No, who's not listening? I just told you. He also holds the record for the fastest bike leg ever in the old course.
Richard Murray.
Richard Murray.
No, it's Murray Crabe. That wasn't bad. You slightly heard half the answer. So I'll ask you another question. What is the reason why we're moving the swim course for the sprint to the New Harbour?
Wales.
Who was that first person who spoke slowly? Kobus. Lekker Kobus. Okay, we got you down for a bottle of vino. Well played. And then I'm going to ask one last question. Where is the our drinks partner? What race are they particularly known for, or series of races?
Tour de France.
That's right. The first person was Dirk Trist. There you go. There's our fourth bottle of wine. Thank you to Prescient for sponsoring those. Really appreciate it. So yeah, shout with any questions now. We're done. We're going to see you tomorrow afternoon. I'll be at registration if you've got any interesting questions. We also do answer emails and things. We're a bit crazy this week, so don't expect a quick answer. But
so Paul, on the ultra, what time does road between Gordons Bay and Royals close? It's closing at 7. But so your spectators and anyone that's watching you won't be able to watch you start the swim and then move on to course. They'll need to go Sir Larry's Pass. And again, guys, just need to mention it just because it's part of our disclaimer. If there is anything that closes Sir Larry's Pass, we do need to give up our race and let them use Clarence Drive as the access to the Overberg. So that is just something that we've agreed across all the municipalities. If there's anything, rock throwing or anything that might happen on the N2. And then, yes, the bike bags, yes.
That's
teaching
probably it.
bags.
We can tell
Yeah.
the rest at registration.
Okay, there's another question about bike bags, but that's cool. I'll respond directly. That's cool. Lekker.
All right. So guys, thank you for attending. We can't wait to host you there. We've got cool spot prizes and stuff. So stick around for the prize giving after the race, but we'll see you at registration tomorrow and Friday or Saturday morning. And we'll definitely stick around for the after party because it's going to be a jewel at the brewery.